Welcome back to the Soundation. That's just Beethoven in saturation when it comes to music. No one's pretty much explained it in any video that I've talked about. If they do, they don't explain it that well. Um, let's listen to this guitar melody without saturation. Now let's put the saturation on. And I know it sounds like it pretty much just got louder. That's not what this preset originally sounded like. I did raise the band 3 level and the band 1 level because I wanted this little extra echo that you hear in the guitar to sound a little bit louder. And it's just a free guitar, classic GRT Lite. You can just download it. And the preset for that guitar inside of there is simply Gal. Alright, I'm going to imagine that is what it is. And there you go. Now, what is saturation? If I'm not mistaken, let's say you have a normal sine wave, and if you look at your equalizer, your EQ, if you were to play that, it would just show up as like a regular bar going through a certain frequency. If you were to add saturation, you would see more bars, kind of like beside it. They would be slightly smaller, and it would be adding a harmonic. All right. Now, as you can see inside of this module, you can imagine that these little peaks right here counts as one bar, and then like you have the rest of like all the smaller ones. That's probably not a good example, but there you go. You kind of hear what it does. Now, when to add it, I couldn't tell you. All right, I looked up what it's for, and it's really to add some sort of warmth to your songs. All right. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because it's just, if you're getting into like, I don't think you should just make beats. You should just like do a little bit something far greater than that. But like this is like a lo-fi setting, all right, and it's just if we wanted to put more than one thing to be saturated, it'd probably be good to like route this all to a specific instrument track that has this saturation plugin in it, alright? So it's just, this is why it's in the plugin by itself with an EQ. But this EQ's in there is because it's really for an EQ for like the guitar. Because the guitar is routed literally only to this. It's not routed to the master, it's routed to the saturation, and the saturation is routed to the master. Or not. Yeah, it is routed to the master. And I would believe that's what is known as like a chain, meaning that if you ever heard this term called like mastering chain and like vocal chains and like just all of that, it's because you might have a thing for your vocals and it goes down specific tracks and then it goes to the master. All right, and it's all chained through these cables. If I'm wrong, I might be wrong to be honest, but that's how I'm gonna visualize it. And there you go. So, I, it's like probably just play around with saturation. Like you probably want to hear other settings. Like this is, it don't sound that good. They don't sound bad. Some of them don't. Like if I were to play like some crazy thing like this, I can already tell, because you can see like the modulation inside of this. Um, That probably might have been hard to hear, but yeah, it's probably good to go for something that you're looking for. Um, and at the same time, it's just like this is what it sounded like before I added anything. I raised the band 3 level. It needed some bass, and I raised that. But it's like there's probably other plugins that you can add that little lo-fi effect that make it sound saturated. But you know, um, I'd say just play around with it. I suppose I just wanted to like share that.